Hey guys, Jason Rains with RE/MAX Elite Realtors here. Today we're gonna do something a little different. Today we're gonna do a lunch and learn and go over the most costly mistakes to avoid when buying a home here in Kansas City. So if you want to know how to potentially save thousands of dollars, make sure to watch this video. All right, so one of the biggest mistakes I see from buyers who are preparing to buy here in the Kansas City area is they aren't prepared, right? Things are moving so fast in Kansas City right now. The average home sits on the market for 2 days. And really what that means is you don't have time to sleep on it, okay? We can't go out and look at houses and you're like, oh, Jason, I'm gonna sleep on it. Let me think about it overnight. I'll let you know tomorrow. Honestly, by tomorrow, the house might be gone and you're calling me, texting me first thing next morning saying, hey, I think we wanna make an offer on this house. I look it up and it's no longer available. So you have to be prepared to move quickly. Another key factor in being prepared is having a pre-approval letter. All right, now, I've had situations before where clients are like, well, I'm not really sure I wanna buy right now. I'm just kind of toying with the idea of buying. When we get a little more serious, I'll go and get my pre-approval letter. But let's go and look at houses now. That's a mistake, you guys, okay? When we go out and we start looking at houses and we find that perfect home, I have to have a pre-approval letter in order to even submit your offer. Now, a lot of times, because I work with some of the top lenders in the area, they can get them done quickly. But let's say we're rolling into a house and looking at it and it's already been on the market for a day and the deadline for submitting an offer is literally an hour away. We simply won't have time to get your pre-approval and write up the offer and get it submitted before they are no longer accepting offers. All right, so it's very, very important to get your pre-approval ahead of time before we go look at homes. Now, maybe you're saying, Jason, I don't need a pre-approval letter because I'm paying with cash. Great, we can definitely pay with cash. However, I still need proof of funds because on cash offers, I have to submit proof of funds to the listing agent so they know you can actually afford to buy the home. Now that's either a bank statement or a screenshot of a bank statement with your name on it showing how much money is in that account. And while that can maybe sometimes seem like, wow, that's a lot of personal information to be handed out, we don't actually give the account number. But we, again, have to show that you're able to qualify and buy the home. Now, maybe there's multiple offers on the property that you're wanting to submit an offer on that you're interested in. That's okay. You don't have to be worried or scared about it. We have strategies in play to put you ahead and beat out those other multiple offers. Now, with that being said, I need to know, or you need to know, what your top offer is right away. What I don't want to have happen is to have you say, Jason, let's offer $500,000 on this house, or let's offer $525,000 on this house. And then we lose out on the offer. I reach out to the listing agent, say, hey, what could we have done to maybe put us in the #1 spot on this one? And they tell us that we lost the house by $5,000. Then I reach out to you and say, hey, we lost the house by $5,000. And you're like, oh my gosh, Jason, I would have spent $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 more on that house and I lost it by 5. Again, we need to put your best foot forward right from the get-go in this market. Also, in multiple offer situations, there are several contingencies that we can use and kind of play with in order to put your best foot forward. We have in its present condition addendums, we have appraisal gap waivers, we have escalation clauses. All these things in conjunction with the top dollar amount or your overall amount that you're wanting to spend can be put together to help you beat out these other multiple offers. Another costly mistake I hear is when buyers tell me, Jason, we're just gonna wait for the market to slow down. Well, I hate to tell you, I don't foresee that happening for quite a while. Now, there's several factors in why I believe that, but one of the big factors is just the supply of homes that we currently have on the market, okay? Even just this past fall of 2021, we had 4,000 homes on the market in the 37 counties that make up the greater, our MLS, our greater Kansas City area, okay? Now, right now, that number's down to 2,500. And if we focus on just the 5 counties that really make up the greater Kansas City area, we're at under 500 homes currently available on the market, okay? So the supply of homes makes a big difference on why I don't think we're gonna see anything change for quite a while. The other aspect of that is interest rates. I have buyers tell me, oh, Jason, interest rates are a little bit higher right now. I'm gonna wait for them to come back down. Well, guys, it's been said that interest rates are only going to keep going up this year. So whereas in 2021, or really beginning of 2022, we were hovering around 3%. Again, lots of variables depending upon that, what interest rate you get. Right now, we're closer to 5%. That number is going to continue to go up through 2022, okay? The Fed has said they're going to continue to raise these interest rates. So what that means is the longer you wait, you're going to be spending more money for the exact same house that you could have right now. So not always better to wait for later. Now, sellers can make mistakes too. So this next one's kind of pointed towards sellers, but really buyers, you can take advantage of these based on the seller making these mistakes, okay? One is overpricing the property, okay? Now, there are a couple different pricing strategies that listing agents use whenever a new house comes on the market. One is to list it for the absolute highest dollar that the seller possibly wants and hope you get an offer for that amount. The other one is pricing it at market value, getting more buyers in the door, getting buyers competing against each other and running that price up, okay? So when you're looking to buy, having a buyer's agent that knows those strategies and can guide you on what they think that listing agent has done. Is it priced really high or is it priced more appropriately for the market? Again, if it's priced appropriately for the market, you know it's probably gonna get multiple offers, it's gonna go up, okay? So maybe look for those houses that are on the high side because they're probably going to be sitting a little longer and you might be able to actually end up getting those for less than list price without having to compete with a lot of other buyers, okay? Another mistake that sellers are making right now is not having the property in the condition it needs to be in, okay? Sellers, you wanna put your best foot forward when you're listing your home. What is that first impression? How do the pictures look online? How do they look in person when buyers actually show up to view your property, okay? So buyers, maybe when you're looking at those photos online before we go look at houses, maybe look for the ones that just don't look quite as nice as some of the other ones that are online, right? Again, these houses are probably going to have less people at them looking at them, which creates an environment where you're not competing against as many buyers. When we combine these together and you have a home that is a little overpriced and not quite right condition-wise for where it needs to be, the house ends up sitting for longer. And in this market, if it's on, depending on price point, but if it's on market for more than a week, buyers start looking at the house going, oh, what's wrong with it? There's gotta be something wrong with this house. Why is it still on the market? And then it ends up sitting there longer and longer. The price starts dropping, and sometimes buyers can take advantage of this and actually get a pretty good deal. Okay, so another mistake I see sellers making right now is when they say, I don't need an agent. I don't need someone to represent me. The market is super strong. I'm just gonna save some money, Jason, okay? Now, I had a client that was in a very similar predicament lately on the listing side in an area community here in the greater Kansas City area. And she really needed top dollar for the sale of her house in order to afford the next house she wanted. And she thought that meant in order to get top dollar that she couldn't afford to pay a listing agent. Now, she was still gonna pay a buyer's agent to bring the buyer in and handle all the paperwork and do all that, but she was trying to save average of 3% on the listing side in order to get more money for her next purchase. Now, I'm gonna go over some figures here from that exact situation. So I'm gonna look at my notes here so I don't mess up the numbers, okay? So she was going to list for $275,000. That's what she was gonna list her house for. She started getting lots of phone calls from agents because she was posting the house on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace. She started getting a lot of phone calls, agents asking questions. Then she would turn around and reach out to me. Wasn't quite sure how to answer them, quite how to handle the showings and all that encompasses with listing a home, okay? So knowing exactly what she wanted and what she needed, now remember, she was gonna list at $275,000 and she was going to pay her buyer's agent 3%. So that means she was gonna pay a buyer's agent about $8,250, which on a $275,000 sale would have netted her $266,750, okay? Knowing exactly where she needed to end at and using proper marketing and having experience on how to negotiate multiple offers to get her the highest dollar, we ended up getting her $295,000 once she decided to list the house with me, okay? So with a average commission of 6%, she ended up paying $17,700 in commissions split between the two agents. That netted her $277,300. Guys, that she got $10,000 more dollars after commission by having representation and having me list the house for her versus doing herself. That's huge, you guys. $10,000 more dollars in your pocket, okay? So being able to decipher offers, navigating multiple showings, doing all the marketing, everything that encompasses listing a home, it pays you in the end to hire professional sellers. Okay, now back to buyers for a minute. Buyers, it is super important for you to use a local lender who is here in the greater Kansas City area, okay? I get calls from buyers all the time. Jason, I'm already pre-approved with X and X Bank or an online lender or something like that. Guys, just stop right now. We need to switch you over to a local lender, okay? One, it's what listing agents are wanting to see right now. Listing agents want to work with a local lender, one that they have a relationship with, that they've done deals with before. They know they can get a hold of them in the evenings and on weekends when your bank or your online lender is closed, and one that they know is gonna get the deal done and have it close on time. That is so important, okay? So thinking back to a previous client I had, he was with a large national bank. We were going through the buying process. I tried to get him to convert to a local lender. He was like, no, Jason, I've been with this bank forever. They're good, that's who I want to use. I've used him in the past on another home. It was smooth sailing. We're just gonna stick with this one. Again, at the end of the day, it's your choice on who uses the lender. I'm just trying to save you and put you in better position to get your offer accepted, right? So we stuck with this lender. Come the appraisal, we had a huge problem because the appraiser was requesting all sorts of documents from the home seller, who was also the listing agent, and he didn't want to give up these documents. He's like, I've never had to give up these documents before when I've sold a house. I don't know why I'm having to do this. And literally the whole deal was about to tank, right? Based on what the lender and the appraiser were requiring. I was able to switch him to a local lender that I've used many times here in the KC area. And while we did end up closing just a few days late, we ended up closing 2 weeks faster than probably what would have happened if we would have stayed with the lender that he started with, okay? So as one of the top realtors here in the Kansas City area, I only work with top lenders that are also here in the area, the ones that have the good relationships with the other agents that the listing agents have done business with before. And you guys, this is one of the biggest things, using the local lender. It's gonna really set your offer apart versus using one of these large national lenders or an online lender. So not so much a mistake that I see, but buyers, are you moving in from out of state and you're like, I have to see this house in person, okay? If that is you, it could be a mistake. With houses going so fast, you can't really say, oh, Jason, it's Monday, for example, right now. I'm gonna come in next Friday. We'll look at houses over the weekend. I've already lined up a few that I wanna see. I've already found them online. Guys, by the time you get here, that house is not going to be on the market. It just is the way it is right now, okay? So one of the ways to offset that is to find a realtor, such as myself, who will do live walkthrough videos for you, okay? Sure, we can do, FaceTime, or we can do one of the other applications that allow live walkthrough videos. The problem I've experienced with those, though, is if the connection is bad, we end up dropping the call, you don't get to see the house, maybe there's not great service in that area, whatever. What I like to do is go through and film the house as if you were there in person. Normally takes 20 to 30 minutes. I upload the photo or the video to YouTube as an unlisted video, so you won't find them on this channel, okay? And then send you the private unlisted link for that house, so only you see it, okay? I'm pointing out every single thing I can find wrong with the home, as well as all the advantages, the pros of it, and that way it's like you're there in person. Now, the last mistake I see buyers making right now is waiting for that perfect house. Guys, in all actuality, the perfect house might not exist right now. Not saying it won't come on in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months from now, but the odds are the perfect house does not exist for you in this market. So how close does it have to be? Is it 80% perfect and 20% not perfect, but 10% of that 20% you can fix and correct, whether it be putting in some new flooring or doing some interior painting to change the colors, maybe new countertops, and then now we're at 90% perfect and only 10% that you're kind of having to compromise on? I don't know. Only you can answer that question, right? But just know that you need to be flexible in this market and understand that with the limited inventory we have, you might not find that perfect home. Man, guys, that was a great lunch and learn, wasn't it? All right, so here's the deal. If you like this style of video, if you like what I had to say today and you found it informative, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel and then click that little bell over on the side so that you're notified every time I drop a new video and we can continue to connect and you can continue to learn, all right? If you're looking to move to Kansas City, I would love it if you'd reach out. You can hit me up at the phone number below or the email below, text me, call me, email me, whatever, day, night, weekdays, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you. And just know that I got your back when moving to Kansas City. Until next time, we'll see you later.